Ultrabooks continue to be the craze in the world of mobile computing, but today we're going to take a look at a pretty fascinating one from the folks at Lenovo. Check it out. Hands on Tech is brought to you from LastPass Studios. Using the same password everywhere is a security nightmare waiting to happen. LastPass easily creates unique passwords for every site. Visit lastpass.com/twit.
This is Twit.
This episode of Hands on Tech is brought to you by FreshBooks, the #1 accounting software in the cloud for self-employed professionals and their teams. Try it free for 30 days at freshbooks.com/hot. Hey folks, I'm Pruitt, and this is Hands on Tech here on twit.tv. We appreciate y'all hopping in and checking us out this week. This time we're going to take a look at a nice, beautiful laptop from the folks over at Lenovo. Now, when you start talking about laptops in general, just mobile computing, you get a bit of a controversy. You have that camp that's wanting to side with, I can just get work done with an iPad. Just give me my iPad Pro. And then you have others that are saying, no, let me have a laptop. Thing is, if you're like me, you really want to get some work done, you really want some horsepower, and you want an actual nice keyboard to get that job done. And right now, the Lenovo X1 Carbon, 7th gen in particular, has all of those boxes checked for me if I wanted to get out there and do some on-the-go computing and get all of my jobs done, whether it's managing documents, managing spreadsheets, just keeping up with the team and communication and lining up all of my gigs and prospects. Very, very nice laptop. Comes with a 14-inch 4K display, so this thing is absolutely beautiful. And you also have an option to put a privacy screen on here just to sort of keep some of the prying eyes out there from trying to figure out who it is that you're talking to for that next gig. But more into the tech side of this device, it is really, really fast and super fast laptop. You're going to get a 1 terabyte SSD for this, 16 gigs of RAM, and a quad-core 8th gen Core i7 chip from Intel. It's actually the 8665 processor. So yes, it's running at 1.9 gigahertz, but it's totally fast enough and it's totally quiet enough, and it's not going to heat up your lap from a whole bunch of cycles running and making the laptop just burn up for you. Ports on this thing is definitely built for those management people on the go, because you're going to get 2 USB ports, you're going to get 2 USB-C Thunderbolt ports, and you're going to get an HDMI port as well as a headphone jack. Now, the headphone jack is also integrated as a microphone jack depending on your type of connectivity. Who is this laptop for? Again, think of your upper management people. It's lightweight, running at about 2 pounds. It's small in a nice 14-inch form factor. The display is crispy and beautiful, running at 500 nits, so you can work well indoors and outdoors if you happen to be waiting at the park bench or something. This is going to be a very, very nice device for those types. Now, if you're a content creator, say a photographer, you'll be just fine with this. I think you can put all of your images on this big old hard drive, as well as process small videos. I'm not going to say you can handle a lot of extra long 4K files on this. It's just not powerful enough for that. Now, what do I like about this laptop? First and foremost, the feel of it. I'm not even going to talk about how sleek and pretty this thing is, because that's objectable for me. Give me the feel of it. Lenovo has had a great track record of giving you optimal feel with their keyboards and the little nib mouse and the extra trackpad and fingerprint reader that's on here. I don't use the fingerprint reader, but I do love the keyboard to be able to knock out documents if I need to write a quick blog post, if I need to write an article, handle an email. It just feels right. My only knock on the keyboard is Lenovo is notorious for having the function key on the left and the control key on the left switched around, typically from what you would see on most Windows devices. Fortunately, a lot of times you can hop into the BIOS if you're nerdy enough and switch those keys around to where it's a little more natural when you're doing that copy and paste function within your typing. That's just a little nitpick. Some people are totally fine with it. It bugs me just a little bit. But productivity-wise, this is going to be a great device. You're going to get a touted 18 hours of battery life. More on that in a minute. So you should be able to go ahead and take that flight across the country, get your work done while you're working on airplane Wi-Fi and checking all your messages and things of that nature. This episode of Hands on Tech is brought to you by FreshBooks. With FreshBooks, you have the ability to invite contractors, employees, and business partners to manage projects and give access to select individuals. Improve your project management workflow and have clarity on time track budgets and deadlines with the ability to assign projects due dates, track your team's expenses, assign rates or hours to a specific project for a client, and much more. Visit freshbooks.com/hot and enter Hands on Tech in the How Did You Hear About Us section to receive 30 days free. That's freshbooks.com/hot. Now, let's look at it again from a creator's standpoint. We all know I love carrying my camera around and shooting, especially shooting raw photographs. Big files, lots of data that's going to take a lot of power to process. When I'm using this laptop with Lightroom or Capture One or Photoshop, the X1 Carbon does an outstanding job of keeping up with me and going through and allowing me to push the pixels to the max, regardless of whatever look that I'm trying to pull off with my particular images. I try to beat it up a little bit and I try to make it sweat, and it has its moments, but 8 times out of 10, this thing is really, really fast enough and strong enough to handle standard post-processing of raw images. On the downside of things, if you want to process video, you're going to be able to handle 1080p quite easily. And I'm using Premiere Pro to do all of my video processing, and it'll handle that quite easily. I threw some 4K footage at it, and it chugged along just a little bit, but the workaround is to utilize the proxy workflow that's built inside of Premiere Pro, and you'll be able to get right through it. Now, previously, we did a review of a Blackmagic 6K camera. Do not throw that kind of footage at this device. This laptop is not built for that. But like I said, it will handle most of everything else regarding your content creation. Now, you remember that 18-hour battery life that they're touting? You're not going to get that, folks, if you're creating content. You may get, I think I averaged around 9 hours or so, just doing steady, constant working, as well as processing photos and videos in and out of Lightroom and different applications and sharing them out and so forth. So the battery life argument that you get from not only Lenovo, but just about any computing company or OEM, take that with a grain of salt, because that number is not going to matter depending on what you're throwing at it and what your use case is. So don't bank on the 18 hours. Even if you're just using this as a upper management person, I'll say you get 10 hours on it. I'm not banking on 18 hours for this device. One more nitpick about this: as a content creator, there's not enough ports, because I'm using an SD card inside of my camera. There's no SD card on this device. So you need to make sure you get yourself some type of dongle that can handle transferring data from your camera to your laptop and back and forth if you need to. Again, that's another nitpick. It didn't cost me an arm and a leg to get myself a dongle. This is maybe $10, but I'm really tired of the dongle life. I wish we could get more card readers on these laptops in general anyway. So the X1 Carbon, overall, it is a super duper device. You're going to get plenty of power. You're going to get plenty of portability out of this because it doesn't weigh anything. Now, pricing on this, depending on the model that you go with, you can get them for starting as little as $1,000. This tested device here ran us at about $2,200, but right now this is the holiday season. You just may catch a bit of a discount on this, depending on the specs that you want. Again, this is spec'd out at 16 gigs of RAM, a quad-core 1.9 gigahertz Intel chip, and a 1 terabyte SSD. So all of those parts are premium parts, so you're gonna pay a bit of a premium price. But all in all, the value on this is right on par. I totally recommend this device to anybody looking. So again, X1 Carbon from the folks at Lenovo. Beautiful, sleek design, Ultrabook. Good enough for upper management. Good enough to a certain extent for the content creator. I really, really love this device. Thank you, folks, for checking us out this week here on Hands on Technology. Be sure to check out all of the shows here on twit.tv, whether it's Hands on Tech, my shows Focus on Photography or Hands on Photography, or you can go and check out our Twit community and join us in the online forums to talk about this device, this camera, the stuff that I said on last week's show, and what have you. I really do appreciate y'all's support. Check us out again on Hands on Tech. Take care.
Keep up with all the hottest tech news and gadgets. Visit twit.tv. There you'll be able to find and subscribe to all our tech shows. Thanks for watching Hands on Tech.